Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rent at a time, back with his good friend, the Lumberjack. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing super good, and I love this topic, by the way.
Yeah, I just want to come out right now and profess my love for
Yeah,
Jerome Powell.
yeah.
Jerome
Like,
Powell is awesome. He is a wonderful person. He has put out a playbook that is so easy for real estate investors to follow. 30-year debt, get in the game, and asset inflation, rent inflation. Now he's starting to slow play interest rate rise because of this big bugaboo thing that's flying around. Dude, Jerome, I love you. And I just want to see if you're on board with that.
yeah. I like to run my fingers through his salt and pepper hair. Love that dude.
I'd love to give him a big bear hug. I'll stop there.
Mike, when he got renominated, I was like, they did what?
Yeah.
Because that other choice I was not very happy with. I was like, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
And Jerome, I think, is gonna, he is going slow and steady is what's gonna win the race for him.
Dude, slow and steady, and he's going backwards right now. I can't believe it. Just today, he's like, oh, this new thing. Oh, it's going to complicate the picture, and we may need to slow down a little bit. I'm like, when did stable prices not become a thing for the Fed? But dude, Jerome, I'm okay, dude. I will buy more houses next year. Totally okay.
Yeah. FYI, if you live in your mother's basement and work on pretty graphs, this is going to make a sucky year for your show for the next year. It's going to suck.
Yeah, your last 17 videos are wrong.
Yeah, all you're going to talk about is inflation. And again, at the end of the day, the only thing I don't like about it, right, is that the same people are getting hurt. It's the same people.
Well, it's
the same people are getting hurt. And again, the problem that I have with that is it's like, I did something about it.
Mm-hmm.
I did something about it. I realized that this is why the top percent win.
Mm-hmm.
The top percent win because they have assets. That's what creates the wealth gap. So very early on, somebody called me lucky on Sunday.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. Like, you're lucky that you started investing in real estate young. No. I'm wicked freaking smart is what I am.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
I'm wicked smart. Go park the car in the yard. Like, yeah. So it wasn't luck at all. It was, I saw the patterns. I was able to identify them early. And then I was willing to make the sacrifice to make it happen. So most people want my life now. Nobody wanted my life then. Same with Mike. We're in exactly the same shoes. No, most people didn't want our life the first 5 or 10 years of it.
You would, no, there's no chance you would have won.
Dude, my life sucked for a decade.
Yeah.
Like, it was a big cup of suck. Like, it was almost bankruptcy 3 times when the bomb happened, when the Great Recession.
Yeah.
Like, it sucked. Like, my face was permanently like beat red like Santa Claus, because I was constantly under so much pressure in my W-2 commissionable job. And holy cow, I had 6 out of my 7 renters stop freaking paying. Like, my life sucked. Like, nobody wanted that life. And some of the people at that time were a little bit of like, yeah, it's
you did it to yourself.
Yeah, probably really the state's not the only way to go.
High school dropout. What are you doing? What do you expect?
Yeah, exactly. The Lambo deal is for them.
Exactly.
The Lambo deal is for them. So yeah, I love Jerome. I love what he's going to be doing, unnaturally, largely speaking.
And again, let's be very clear. I do not think it's the right thing. I don't think it's the right thing.
It's not at all.
I think you have to get interest rates back to normal. I think asset prices, I think the stock market is, I think the fact that there's 0 interest rates and Wall Street is buying single family homes just tells you how bad it all is. Yeah, but I'm not going to I can't impact bad. I can take advantage of the hand that is currently dealt. And right now, Jerome Powell has given me ridiculously low debt to purchase and refi all 30 years. I've purposely done that. And again, I thought the window was closing, and Powell's like, no, I think I might keep it open a while longer. Dude, crash videos. I mean, come on, really?
Don't fight the Fed.
Don't fight the Fed.
Don't fight the tape.
Don't fight the tape.
Like, okay. So, again, I mean, from my perspective, I'm looking at things. I'm making my bets, if you will.
Yeah.
Maybe it works out. Maybe it doesn't. But what I love the most is people thrashing on me saying, there's people that will say, you really don't care if your assets go down. I go, no, I don't.
No, I don't.
They're like, how can that be? I said, it means it got cheap.
Yeah. Here's the deal, folks. I have never paid for a single bill, a single food. I don't pay for my Warrior tickets. I don't pay for my ridiculous car insurance. I don't pay for any of those things on my net worth. I don't care if my real estate, because they're all fixed and you can't call the loans, were cut in half. I would be ecstatic.
Holy crap. We would get so much bigger, so much faster.
Oh my God, I'd be ecstatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd go shopping.
Oh, dude.
Come
like,
on. Yeah.
And
by the way, folks, I tell you this as someone who's been through it. I got 21 years. I was that guy who took 40 grand, used the same 40 grand for 13 or 14 transactions because I was doing Burr before they were writing books. And I was writing about it on Bigger Pockets and they took it from me. But damn it, I was doing it, man. It was, yeah. Again, people think I got all these houses because I had all this money. I had 40 grand that I used over and over like a photocopy machine. So use it again, use it again, use it again.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, honestly, that was the only way that we could afford to do stuff.
Yeah. And again, I lived below my means. So I was able to scratch and claw 40 grand after a decade of real estate and living 50% below my means. It wasn't easy, man. You would not have wanted my life for 8 or 9 years. You'd have been like, you make what? You save what? And you, because we had the same, my wife, the kitchen was just this simple thing with the little white subway tiles, no upgrades. We drove, I had a company car. I mean, it's just, oh, you would not have wanted my life. And then my direct employees lived in nicer houses with me. That made me cry one time. I was heartbroken when one of my direct reports had a nicer house than I did. That almost crushed me. That almost crushed me. But yeah, you would not have wanted my life.
I honestly, like, that stuff for me was such fuel. Like, I would just, I'm broken. I admit it, Matt, class of one, broken. Like,
class of one, broken.
Totally was. I was just like, yeah, why wouldn't you need 2 brand new Saabs? Like, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't your wife need the convertible and you have the hardtop? Like, why wouldn't you? And I was sitting there and I'm just like, what the hell? Yeah. And it was like, and I likened it to was there was a commercial later on that came out. I forget who it was. It might've been Geico or something like that. And it was just like, I'm in debt up to my eyeballs. And I was like, it's so true. Like, they were so beyond the pale. And we learned a lot of lessons, Mike, in the Great Recession.
Oh yeah.
We learned a lot of lessons and how to really make things work for you and really understand that don't fight the Fed, don't fight the tape, take what the defense is giving you.
Don't bet on appreciation.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, well, that was like mathematically, I hated that approach always, which is kind of funny.
My brain stopped me. I couldn't buy the 9th house because it's just, again, thank God the accounting brain kicked in because everybody around me was buying homes. I'm like, how are you guys doing this? Like, the house that I bought for 107 is now 290. It rents for the same 1100.
Exactly.
Where's the cash flow? I don't get it. Oh, you don't know these 2 and 28 loans. You pay 1 point. I'm like, well, what do you do in year 3? Oh, don't worry, you refi. I'm like, what? You're buying that? Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah. I had somebody talk to me about a 3.8 cap rate today. I was like, no. And they're like, why do you say it like that? And I go, ugh. I was like, I'm not going to be a jerk, but let me tell you, my last 5 deals, lowest was 20%, highest was 43. Yeah. I'm not getting on a bed for a 3-point cap rate.
Oh, you run for those. I mean,
that guy's going to get killed that buys that. I'm going to be buying it with an 11.5 or 12% cap rate.
The only thing I could tell the folks is the person that's buying it with a 3.8, I hope you're paying cash.
You have to, Mike. The numbers don't work.
No, you have to. If you pay cash, you might make some money.
We had a deal sell for $4 million around us, and it was a property that I'd had my eye on for years. It's one of those. Had my eye on it for years. It finally hits the market. They put it out there for $4 million. Just for S&Gs, figure it out. For S&Gs, I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? I need to at least look at the number and just try to feel it through.
Yeah.
And I look at it and I'm like, okay, so if I put $1 million down, $1 million, Mike, liquid down.
Yeah.
And I have a $3 million nut. I would lose $200 a month on that property without anything going wrong.
Alligator.
Yeah. I'm like, I can lose money way more fun than that.
Yeah, exactly. I can light $200 on fire before I
Exactly.
give it $1 million. Can you
Someone's going to Vegas,
dude,
you know?
there are limited partners today
Yeah.
that are
Oh, yeah.
investing sight unseen in general partners who promise the world
Right.
that are going to lose every single dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I have some capital tucked away that I'll deploy in 2 or 3 years when
Yep.
the opportunity arises. It's 3.8 cap rate. Come on.
Like, yeah. And it was like, well, but the pro forma is 5.5. I go,
What?
so I'm paying like it's an 8,
Yeah.
but it will be a 5.5. But right now it's a 3.8. So I get to pay myself negative rate for my work that I'll put in to make it more valuable.
So did it sell? Did it sell?
So the one that I got talked about, the 3.8 today, that one just went on the market. The
Okay.
other one that was $4 million, it sold.
I hope you paid cash. Because again, if you're an insurance company or
Sold.
deep pockets and you don't want your money in the account, it's okay. 3.5, better than nothing. But I guarantee you, I mean, even if you had 50% debt, you're losing money.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the numbers and I want to say the expenses were something like at a $3 million note,
Yeah.
with no maintenance built in, none. This was purely numbers on taxes and rents and etc. It was 18.7 was the expense, and 18.5 or 18.4 was the cash flow. It was a negative 300 a month, and that was after you put $1 million down. Okay, now put $2 million down.
Yeah.
What's the return on that capital? It's not good. It's garbage.
Yeah.
Give me $1 million and I will make you much happier.
Oh, absolutely. So again, Jerome Powell is making some people rich. Here's the deal. There are people that were buying 6 caps in markets that were 7 that have been bailed out because of Jerome Powell, and they need to send Jerome Powell a thank you card because now they're selling it at a 4.5.
Yeah.
This part, you cannot collapse cap rates forever. They will spring back and shock you.
Yeah.
Go back and look at history, folks. It's I did 50 years on residential. You could do 50 years on commercial. A 3.8 again. Let's talk about my market. My market, generally speaking, for the best stuff's like 6.5, 7 caps. I sold a junker at 5.5, and it retraded at 5. I'm like, what?
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, I owned it, and I wouldn't touch it for less than a 10, right? So yeah, it was crazy. So in the end, Jerome Powell, thank you, buddy. Thank you. Again, I'm not saying what he's doing is right. I'm just taking advantage of what he has given. And he's telling us now that he's going to slow play this and be all casual. So if you're following one rental at a time, 30-year debt, go get some.
30-year fixed rate debt. I want a bunch more of that underneath my tree.
There you go. I want that has anybody wrapped that up in a Christmas present? I'd like some of that. So, Matt, how can people follow you and get part of your world?
11:30 a.m. Sundays live stream on lumberjacklandlord.com, and also the Three Amigos group. We've been in there a lot. Like, does Dion have like Facebook up like 24/7?
He's a machine that way.
Holy, like, I'm watching people. I'm like going back. I'm like, yep, I'm going to go in there and like look at the list of people to approve. And it was like, yeah, it was approved 9 minutes ago. I was like, the guy sitting in 9 minutes ago in 4 seconds. So that's where you can find all of us. Three Amigos.
There you go. I love it, man.
Three Amigos of FI.
Yep. Three Amigos of FI. Thanks, bud.
Thanks, Mike.